Yeah, so let's talk about a few of those games here. I want to get your thoughts on what
You don't have
happened.
to bring up Wisconsin, Michigan State.
Michigan, Wisconsin. No? Okay.
Nah, not happening.
Yeah, okay.
Let's start with number 3, Alabama, going to number 6, Tennessee. So let's put the Bryce Young stuff aside.
How?
Okay.
How do we put that aside?
But let's start with he doesn't play.
Okay.
Okay. You have Jalen Milroe.
So that's official. He's not playing.
No,
I'm just going with it right
Okay,
now,
all
and then we'll go and then we'll add it later on and see what that changes to you. So Tennessee has they go up tempo a lot. They have the 5th quickest team they're the 5th quickest team in the country in terms of time of possession per play, 21.3 seconds. Second lowest pressure rate they allow in the country at 16.1. But Bama puts a ton of pressure on the quarterback. So setting it aside, Bryce Young doesn't play in this scenario. Your thoughts on the matchup? Who wins?
Tennessee wins if Bryce Young doesn't play. It's home. It's at Neyland. They'll score enough to win the game.
If Bryce Young plays, Alabama wins.
I agree.
If Bryce Young doesn't play, Alabama wins.
Oh,
okay.
Whoa.
Tennessee is one of those teams that when the lights are the brightest, they fold. They can't handle the pressure. There's a lot of teams that we're going to be talking about in this blitz that Tennessee has. This is a show me game. If Tennessee can beat Alabama, even without Bryce Young, they're legit. Mm-hmm. And maybe Hendon Hooker now has his Heisman moment. But until I see otherwise, I can't believe in Tennessee because they will let you down every time.
But hold on. Bama this year struggled at Texas.
They did.
Right?
Did they win?
They did.
Okay.
They did.
Struggled against Texas A&M.
And they struggled with A&M.
As the kids say, a win's a win.
No, I know, but Hendon Hooker in Tennessee is much better than Texas without Quinn Ewers.
Tennessee, in fact, has their first in FBS in yards per game and points per game offensively.
So I really think it boils down to Bryce Young plays. They carve up Tennessee. They don't. They don't have a guy who can take advantage of Tennessee's secondary.
You falling for it, man.
To your point, though, Rico, they are over. Tennessee is against Saban.
I think I love it because I got some Alabama friends, and sometimes I live vicariously through them. They cover the team. And one of them put up, it's been 55,800 some days since Tennessee has beaten Alabama. Mentally, that kicks in.
Okay.
So, Bama's winning regardless. Roll Tide.
All righty, then. Let's move over. This was not a ranked versus ranked matchup, but it's still a big matchup. It is on ABC Saturday at 7:30. Clemson, number 4 Clemson at Florida State. Now, this is another example of until Florida State shows us. Clemson wins, right?
Clemson should. It's one of those where, as Mike likes to say, the line looks weird.
It does.
Clemson is number 4 in the country, but they're only a 3.5-point favorite on the road. That doesn't add up at all. No hurricane going on that I know of in Florida. I think this is kind of I don't think people really believe in DJ Ungalangalele and Clemson. I don't think it's more so about Florida State. I just think it's an indictment on Clemson that
Really?
I don't think they've won, but you're in the ACC, and who have you really beaten?
So DJ, they beat Wake Forest at Wake Forest in overtime, right? And he's been the best QB in the red zone in the ACC. He's been really good this season. He's made NFL throws this season. I know he was garbage a year ago. He's bounced back. And I really like Clemson in this spot. I don't know what I'm missing because Florida State's very run-dependent. They have all these big explosive runs. Clemson has the best Power 5 run defense in the country.
Well, that's what I was about to say because Florida State, they have the best rushing attack in the country. But for the first time this year, Clemson will have all 5 key defensive linemen for them. Brees, Davis, Thomas, Henry, and Murphy. So
Tigers.
It's
strength against strength.
This is one of those that I wouldn't bet on because you would figure the number 4 team in the country should go in there, and this should be like a double-digit spread, and it's not.
Let's stay in the ACC for a quick moment. Let's talk about number 15, NC State, going to number 18, Syracuse. Now, Syracuse did beat Purdue earlier in the year. I think Purdue collapsed in that game and gave them that game. But your thoughts on this game? I had NC State winning the ACC preseason.
I got Syracuse winning this because Syracuse is that charmed life team. You know, when I watch this Syracuse team, it reminds me a lot of Michigan State last year, where there were a bunch of games they probably shouldn't have won, but they found ways to pull it out. You could say it was luck, it was this, but in the end, they're singing the fight song in the locker room. They got the victory. They're not necessarily better than these teams, but they're that charmed life team this year. I would go with Syracuse.
My opinion on this game has been embargoed. To listen to it, you have to download Cash the Ticket. Available, as Evan says, wherever you get your podcasts. Evan would be appreciative of that. David, what's the next game?
I can't believe
Wow.
you. Wow. I'm just going to move over to the West Coast then.
That's the game. Get to that game.
Let's talk number 7 USC going to number 20 Utah. Utah is favored in this game. They are the 20th over the number 7 ranked in this team. Let's talk about this game. Cookie, since you can't give a thought on the other game, give your thoughts on
Can you
this
talk
one.
about this
I
one?
will talk about this one gladly. This is my favorite play of the weekend. Utah at night is a tough place to play. 23-1 since 2018,
Michigan
playing at home. I said since 2018, David. And
No, Michigan lost.
Oh, yeah, they did.
And they
lose.
did. That
My
was
bad,
Harbaugh's
my
first
bad,
year.
my
That was the
bad.
first time I heard Davis swear.
You don't go to Rice Eccles and come out with a win. 15-1 at night at home since 2018.
This is an all blackout game.
And yes, Rico knows.
Yeah, like the fans, they're in the black jerseys with the. Yeah, I think that USC is probably the cute team that nobody's watched because let's face it, unless you really into college football, you're not up for Pac-12 after dark. They got Addison, they got offense. I don't think that they have the defense. They let a lot of teams hang around them that shouldn't. And yeah, Utah can play D. Utah's a tough place to play at home at night. Blackout. Yeah.
Best defense in the Pac-12, best pass defense in the Pac-12. They run for 200 yards a game. And you mentioned USC letting teams hang around. Oregon State ran on them. Stanford ran on them. Utah's the best team they faced.
Yeah.
And so what I'll do is I'll close it out. I did not mention everything, so I'll leave it open. I do know, Rico, Oklahoma State going to TCU. You like Oklahoma State. There's another great matchup out there, number 16 Mississippi State going to
TCU's
Kentucky.
favorite. But I still like
TCU is
Oklahoma
favored.
State.
I'm with you. I like the Cowboys.
And then 16 Mississippi State at 22 Kentucky.
Got to see Will Levis, his status, but if he plays, I like him at night defending their home field.
Are we missing the elephant in the room?
Well, we're going to spend more time on that.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
we'll spend.
Okay.
Yes, we'll handle that later.
Okay.
That is your college football blitz.